The city was cold, unforgiving. John, new and full of naive hope, found house number 73. Cheap, too cheap, but he was young, needed a place. The apartment was on the top floor, shrouded in a perpetual gloom. Dust caked the furniture, and the air hung heavy, stagnant. John felt a shiver, something cold snaked down his spine. He dismissed it, the exhaustion of the move settling in. He unpacked quickly, each box unpacked a small victory against the oppressive atmosphere of the apartment. Night fell, shadows crept in, twisting familiar shapes into menacing figures. John tried to ignore the feeling of being watched, of being hunted. The landlord, a man with eyes that seemed to hold ancient secrets, handed John the keys. His voice was a raspy whisper, "Don't open the back door after sunset, ever." John, puzzled, started to question, but stopped. The intensity in the old man's eyes was unsettling. He simply nodded, taking the keys. The encounter left John uneasy. He tried to reason away the landlord's strange warning, but a seed of doubt had been planted. As darkness fell, the apartment seemed to close in around him. The silence was broken only by the creaking of the old building, each groan like a whispered threat. Days passed, then weeks. The strangeness remained. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, faint, unintelligible, yet laced with malice. John would wake in the night, the distinct feeling of wetness beneath his bare feet. But the floor was always dry, the whispers grew louder, sometimes morphing into muffled screams that sent chills down his spine. He began to see things in the reflections of the dusty mirrors, fleeting glimpses of a figure lurking just beyond their periphery of his vision. Each time he turned, there was nothing there. Fear, cold and clammy, tightened its grip on John's heart. Section 4. The Figure in the Shadows. One night the noises reached a fever pitch, a cacophony of whispers, screams and inhuman growls. John sat upright in bed, drenched in a cold sweat, his heart pounding against his ribs. Then he saw it, a towering figure silhouetted in the doorway, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light. John was paralyzed with fear, unable to scream, unable to move. The figure glided towards him, its movement almost serpentine, its eyes never leaving his. John squeezed his eyes shut, willing himself to wake up from this nightmare, but the terror was real, inescapable. Section 5. Trapped. John woke with a gasp. The room was silent, bathed in the pale light of dawn. Had it all been a dream? He could still feel the icy dread gripping his heart. He was no longer the same. He rose from the bed, his body moving with an unnatural fluidity. He walked towards the mirror, his reflection a stranger staring back at him. His eyes glowed with the same malevolent light as the figure from the night before. A sinister smile spread across his face. He was trapped. Another prisoner in the haunted walls of house number 73, doomed to forever haunt its halls. And as the sun set, casting long menacing shadows across the city, John, or whatever he had become, waited for the next unsuspecting tenant to walk through the door. The cycle would continue.